Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's YAWA, where we are here to talk about some fantastical things that are happening here at Standing Stone, as well as answer a few questions.
If this is your guys' first time to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button down there.
It's over here.
Somewhere. And turn on notifications, as well as if you are listening, we're going to have something that you're going to want to hop on over to our actual YouTube video, because we got something. Okay, Ethan got something really cool this weekend at our puppy send home.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So this is from Mark. And Mark watched one of my videos, and
probably more than one video this has been mentioned in, because it's become an ongoing problem.
Where Kat challenged my manhood because I did not have a pocket knife with me at the time. And
it has become an occurrence where I'm like, hey, you got a pocket knife?
And my response is, I don't know, do you? And she says, what kind of man doesn't have a pocket knife? Well, I said, well, touche. I should have a pocket knife.
Especially because
I totally get this.
Given him pocket knife after pocket knife after pocket knife.
I absolutely love them, and I love having them. I just get tired of losing them, which I do a lot.
They just fall right out of your pocket there.
Whatcha? Man said, hey, I heard you need a pocket knife. He happened to get me set up with a collection of a few pretty cool knives. This one's got a little belt clip.
And this is a really cool knife roll.
And then option number 2. This one's got some bling going on there. I don't know if this is ivory, but it's definitely
it's pretty.
It's pretty. And then
oh, I like that one.
Yeah, it's got a kind of curved blade to it. Wooden handle, very smooth, fits in your hand nice. And then the little one that I kind of stole.
He's already put it in his pocket.
This one's really unique. It's kind of, I don't know how to say it, like not quite banana shaped, but it's curved. And then the blade is more like a straight razor type of blade.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so very unique. I've never actually seen a pocket knife that looks quite like that. So, and it is the, more of the smaller, easy to fit in my pocket on a regular basis size. So, there it goes.
And what's this one? Aw, a little key one. Can't open it. Hold on. Figure it out. There we go. Little baby one. You could put that on a keychain, probably.
That was actually, I was told to give that one to you, and so you could put it on a keychain.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. That is a really, really nice gift.
Very, very nice gift. So thank you very much for that. And now I have no excuse for at least 3 more losses of why I don't
lose any more
have
knives.
A pocket knife on me. Now, this evening, we are going to be playing with Eagle Rare.
Is that like?
It says it right on the label.
It does not. I'm not that gullible.
Nope, it does not. But this is in honor of Bob, because anytime I send Bob at Lone Duck a message, he sends me back the eagle emoji. Emoticon, whatever those things are.
I think they're called emojis.
Emojis.
And I'm having a good old-fashioned mojito. Not an old-fashioned.
Now I know why I like this. Sometimes you haven't had it in a little while. You're like, do I like this or not? Why do I have this? Now I remember.
You like it.
Yeah, it's tasty.
You like it a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay, well, now to answer some questions. How's that sound?
I'm good. I'm ready. Lay on me.
So many good ones. Oh, this will be a good one.
Whoa. Before we get started, I want to say one thing. Just so that everybody knows it's watching. I mean, we're a couple minutes in. We haven't lost most of your viewers yet. Just joking. Everybody watches to the end. You're putting the finish in there. Woo! We appreciate that, by the way. Makes us feel good. Sometimes, we get into making these things and you get to that point a little bit where you're like, is anybody really watching these? And that's kind of why I said that. And everybody's like, finish. So it makes us feel good. Yes. We can tell that we're appreciated for what we're doing and what we're putting time in for. But we do want to say all of the questions are coming from YouTube. So if you're interested, you're watching now, you have a question for us and you want us to answer it, throw it in the comments below.
Yes. So this is a good one because dove season is right around the corner.
Is it?
It is. So from Lynn Gillum, dove season is coming up and I have taken my Springer hunting once. He was a little timid around gunfire, but did retrieve 1 or 2 birds. Fast forward to now and a few months of no gunfire. When I reintroduce gunfire, he acts like he is terrified. We have slowly been introducing gunfire and he has gotten better, but should I take him beginning of dove season or do you think that is too soon?
I'm going to say it sounds like you have gunfire issues.
Yeah, I would say that your first season where you shot around him and he acted timid, if your dog is ever acting unsure or timid or heading back to the truck, those are situations where you are seeing gun sensitivity to some extent. And just trying to push through that or move forward through that is not an ideal situation because that's just going to compound the problem. And we want to get to the point where they're not acknowledging gunfire. They're so excited to be out there hunting that the gunfire doesn't affect them. Or if it does affect them, it affects them in the sense that they're getting super excited and more pumped up, not the opposite. So it sounds like he had some timid experiences, then took some time off and didn't have also a ton of exposure and experience prior to that. And now came back to gunfire and is now probably past the gun sensitive and back down to, I would say, almost gun shy. And yes, you have a slow, steady road ahead of you to get him to the point where he is going to be comfortable around that gunfire and comfortable enough to the point where you can take him hunting, especially if you plan on hunting dove or with a group. So dove hunting is one of those situations where if the dogs aren't on point, they aren't actively flushing or chasing birds, that they're being shot, they're sitting, they're having to be steady, they're having to wait. And dove hunting is not always easy for dogs to make that connection of I'm sitting here and I'm waiting and I'm watching for birds and they're being shot and then I make the retrieve. Young dogs, it takes a while for them to figure out that process, figure out the game, figure out what we're doing out there. If you've got a dog with gun sensitivity, they could be hanging out by you. And then all of a sudden people start blasting away on guns and they have no idea why because they didn't see the doves come in. They don't know what the doves are coming in.
That's exactly the problem that happens is it's inconsistent and you don't know if the dog does see or does not see what's going on before the gun volleys begin.
So my recommendation, Lynn, would be to hold off on taking your dog hunting. I know that you want to, and hunting is a great experience when the dogs are truly ready for it. But with gun sensitivity issues, if you try and push through that and force the issue, it's just going to get worse. And you're going to get to the point where you might not even be able to get back the ground that you've lost in a reasonable amount of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that was a really good question. So this was an interesting question because I guess I didn't really think about what people watch on YouTube and see on our Instagram channel and follow along on Facebook that they might not necessarily know. So Kayla Basoko, which I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Do you guys get to run your kennel full time now? Or do you guys still have jobs away from your home? Would you do a sit-down video of how the dream or desire of getting to train dogs came about or started, and what you guys did to get where you are now? Thank you.
That's awesome. So to start that off, I want to say I essentially have been training dogs full-time for almost 10 years now, or just right at 10 years. So it's awesome that you say that because I would say that on average, that is the majority. I mean, people that train dogs and even train dogs professionally do it on the side. It's a hobby. It's an evening, afternoon, weekend thing. And we've been fortunate enough to be able to do this for a very long time. It all started working. I mean, it became a full-time job that we've talked about in a few different episodes. But then when we started doing it for ourselves, we've really been fortunate enough to have enough people that trusted and believed in us and that
sent us their dogs to train.
And yes. And on top of that, I mean, we worked our tails off, and there is no if, and, or but around that aspect of things. Kat and I worked, when we started for ourselves, we worked,
all day, every day.
Yeah. I mean, 5 o'clock, maybe 4:30, depending on the day in the summer, 4 o'clock sometimes, whatever, until 10 o'clock, 7 days a week.
PM.
Yeah.
It wasn't like 4 a.m. to 10 a.m.
No, 4 to 10. So 7 days a week. And there was a few small stretches in there that we had some help, but it was like an employee here or there. We had a couple employees that lasted a while, but it wasn't even until more recently where we moved down to where we're at now, which is just outside of Prairie, Kansas. So South Central. We used to live in Northwest Kansas, and there was like nobody out there, so it's hard to find employees. It was
good hunting though.
Yeah, it was
good hunting area.
We lived a long way from town.
Yes.
14 miles. Now we live further from town, and we have people drive even further than that to come work for us. I think it was just there was a smaller selection of people in that area to try and pull from.
Fairly unpopulated.
Yes. But so we've been doing it for a long time, and it's one of those things that if I actually sat down and calculated out the dollars per hour that I was making in the beginning stages of that, working through all of those things, I probably would have quit and took a job there at McDonald's or something and had a leg up. But I'm definitely glad to where we're at and where we've grown. But it's one of those things that it's taken a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, and we definitely wear a lot of different hats. So we train dogs, we have a breeding program, but then we're also shooting these videos and trying to share the knowledge and experience that we have with you all, as well as, social media is a huge thing these days. So managing social media sites and a website.
And if you didn't know, we have an online store.
Yes, on our website. So standingstonekennels.com/store. And then we also have Patreon where we're answering people's questions.
Yes.
So we have a lot of different things that involve our business now, which has grown. When we started, it was dog training and a couple litters and a very minimal website, social media presence. I mean, we had a presence, but if you go back and watch some of the initial beginning 8-year-old Standing Stone Kennels on YouTube videos, which we have a video coming out.
Yeah, we just created a video where we reacted to some of our beginning videos. It was bad.
Yeah. So some of those first videos were bad.
Definitely be checking that out. It's going to be coming out here probably this week, I would guess. So.
Yeah. So we had a very minimal presence on that aspect. And we've been able to, with a great team now, be able to grow into having a business that spans multiple different aspects and venues. So
absolutely. It's a great question.
It is. Okay. So this is also a really good question from Cody Doer.
Oh, hey, Cody. How's it going?
Oh, no, I said that wrong. Corey Doer. Sorry.
Oh, Corey. Hey, how are you?
Can you train a dog pace? Is it something that comes with experience? My 2-year-old GSP is in great condition, running 3 to 7 miles a day, depending on the weather we have, but always starts out like a rocket and blows by early birds. Thanks. Love the content. Have watched almost every video. Awesome. Thanks for being
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for being
a fan. Feet. We need to get a t-shirt made or something like that says,
I've watched them all.
I've watched them all, because there's a lot of them out there now.
Even the old ones, reaction video would be great. We actually just did one, so you'll have to check that out. It's coming out probably this week, like we said. But okay, we say this a lot, but anything your dog's doing consistently, they are conditioning themselves to. So if
100%.
Your dog's MO is to hop out of the truck, hit the field, and blaze a trail as far as he can out into the hinterlands, and then finally come around and check back in after he's blown up a few birds, that's going to be what he wants to do and what he's becoming conditioned to do.
First and foremost, it is a very common thing for young dogs to do that. A lot of times they have more oomph to run and less understanding of what's going on. Work harder, not smarter at the early stage in the game, and you get a season or two under their belt and they start working smarter, not harder. where they are out there actively hunting, not just running for the sake of being a young, wild
banshee.
Yeah. All I can think is like the Dave Matthews song comes in my head. Raised by a wolf. Whatever, however it goes. Insert music here, except then we'll be demonetized. So don't insert music here.
But I think that not only are young dogs very susceptible to doing this, that people make a lot of excuses for their dogs.
Agreed. Yeah. 100%.
And say, oh, well, they just have to blow off some steam. They just have to get out, that first run.
I've heard of the extent of people like say we dump them down in the ditch and let them run for 2 miles before we get to the field to run off some steam. Well, you're just creating this monster.
Yeah. You're conditioning the response that you really don't want, but it's becoming conditioned. So we put a lot of emphasis on obedience. So therefore, dogs get out of the truck, they're under control, they're in a heel position. Not only is that good for them not blowing into the field and getting birds up early, but also for the safety of your dog, especially if you're getting into the field from an approach or the side of the road.
Yes, absolutely.
Your dog being under control and handled before you get to the field, or vehicles just moving around to head down to the other end to block or something. If you know where your dog is at and they're under control, they're safe, they're not blowing birds out, and then you can let them hit the field, but handle them. If you see them deciding to do their first initial 200-yard cast and you don't want that, that's not the kind of hunting you're doing, you call them back. You keep them close until you condition that is the expectation. You get to hunt 60 to 100 yards, not 200 to 400 yards.
Yep, it takes a lot of handling in the beginning, and then if you put the time in that first season and in training sessions and in everything else, in that first year to 2 years of life, keep on top of things. Condition, like Kat said, anything the dog's doing, they're conditioning themselves to. So if you're keeping them in this more comfortable range, usable range, workable range, they're going to be conditioned to stay in there. Now, some dogs have a natural desire to run bigger than others, but it doesn't really sound like that's what you're talking about. It sounds like you're happy with things, except for that first initial burst of energy where they're running too big. So handle.
Put the time in now, and you'll be happy with your end result.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really good question, Corey. And I think that's probably all we're going to have time for in part 1 of this week's YAWA. Thank you guys for asking questions. Remember, put them in the comments of these YAWA videos if you want your question answered next week.